what's a thing? I think the what? My name is Zack Bateman. I'm a musician, painter, and comedian from Oakland, California.
Here, not only is he a funny guy, but he has really wonderful style in dress and in voice. Everybody, I really need you more than any of us that have performed today to show him giant love. Everybody give it up for Zack Bateman.
Hey, tripping, Tony. Give it up for Tony, everybody. Also, give it up for all the awesome comedians that have done this tonight. This is wild, man. I've been doing comedy 8 years now. 8 years, that's a long fucking time. That's a long time of playing to 3 people in a library or like any random fucking weird places that comedians can, you know, get their 5 minutes in. But before I was ever doing comedy, before I was ever doing, you know, any of the things that I was doing, I was a hip hop artist. And I was a rapper. And I really dissected hip hop growing up. I listened to a lot of it. One of my favorites was always Jay-Z, because Jay-Z, one of the things I always loved about Jay-Z is Jay-Z's best hype man. Nobody hypes Jay-Z up better than Jay-Z. Jay-Z will be in the background of a Jay-Z song going, "Yeah, you's a genius." What he said, that motherfucker's funny. Like, and Jay-Z be like, "Thanks, Jay-Z." "Yeah, no problem, Jay-Z." And then I grew up in the Bay Area, so around 2004, a phenomenon happened. And that's what we call hyphy. And that's what we call people like E40. Got into E40 when I was a teenager. And once you hear E40 for the first time, some shit happens. You start going, ugh, on a daily basis. You didn't know ugh was the sound, but now you use it. And I have a joke that I do sometimes here at the open mics, where all you have to do a good E40 impression is go hibbity-bobbity, bibbity-bobbity, tripping. Just add the word tripping after that, right? But you do it really fast. So you go hibbity-bobbity, bibbity-bobbity, tripping. Now, what I forgot to add is E40 likes to repeat himself. So E40 will be like, "Coming around the bay and I'm riding on a scraper. He'll just like pop out of nowhere in his own song, out of the bushes. Well, one of my favorite rappers growing up was DMX.
Yeah.
You guys remember DMX? People already in the crowd. Every time I say DMX, people gotta go, "Urgh." Now this dude was crazy. Cause one song, he'd be like, "I'm gonna cut your back open. And if you got a daughter older than 15, I'm a raper." That's a real lyric. That's a real lyric off his first album. You know what the next song is? You know what the next song is on that album? It's him praying. So you got one song, "You got a daughter older than 15, I'm a raper." And then the next song, "Let us pray." You're like, what the fuck? This dude got arrested. This is early 2000s, this happened. He got arrested for possession of crack and abuse to dogs. Now that's wild, because if you've heard any of his songs, why you gotta be hitting dogs, man? You'd be like, "Where my dogs at?" It's like they ran away, D, because you was abusing them. The fuck? But apparently when he got arrested, now this is the shit. When he got arrested, he barked at the scene of the crime. So imagine being that next door neighbor. You're next door, you're like, "Oh yeah, DMX lives next door, not a big deal." And you look outside and he's being taken in by the cops. And he's like, "Oh, this is bullshit. Wasn't me. Wasn't me." Oh. That doesn't really help your case at all. One rapper has got me fucked up, and it has all of us fucked up for the past 10 years now. Yeah, motherfucking West. Yeezy. I have been on an emotional roller coaster ride with Yeezy for 10 years. And it's bullshit, man. But the thing is, everybody was really tripping that he supported Trump, that he was a Trump supporter, that he was on that side of things. I don't find that baffling. Do you think if Donald Trump was a rapper, he wouldn't interrupt somebody who was winning a Grammy? Do you think, no, let's switch it. Do you think if Donald Trump was a rapper and a black person won a Grammy, you don't think he'd be right up on that stage right away? You don't think he'd be like, excuse me, miss, okay, excuse me, Beyonce, you had a good video, but Kid Rock had one of the best videos of all time. That part where he's about to punch that liberal in the face in that bar brings a tear to my eye. And you know, it's okay. Like you can deal with it if he was still making albums like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You could deal with it. You could be like, okay, all right. I mean, the album's fucking good though, but you can't because one of the last albums this dude put out, a verse on this shit. Well, okay, literally, okay, it's a good song, catchy beat. I forget the name of the shit already, but in this song, came out last year. In this song, Kanye gets on the mic and he goes, poopity scoopity, poop poopity, poop scoopity poop poop. You can't be like poopity scoopity, poop poopity scoopity. Doesn't work. Even what I just said there, more words than what Kanye said in that verse. Filipino. We got any Filipinos?
Yeah.
Let's give it up for my mom real quick. She's here. She's also selling baked goods over there. If you haven't had any of the baked goods, get that shit, because that shit is good. Yeah, I'm Filipino, Moranian, a bunch of other shit. 23andMe told me I was 10% black. So, you know what's fucked up? Whenever I tell people that, I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's like 10% or something like that. I get people saying the most racist shit. I'm like, yeah, 23andMe said I was 10% black and like 5% Chinese. And they're like, oh yeah, bro, I could see it in the lips. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? But anyway, I'm Filipino, and it's weird. A lot of people, okay, so Filipinos, we got a lot of Spanish in us, right? And a lot of people consider Filipino food the Spanish food of Asia. I don't think that. I think Filipino food is the soul food of Asia. By that, I mean Filipinos eat the soul of the food. Because we eat every motherfucking part of an animal. Like people got pig's feet, we got pig's brain, pig's asshole, and the most metal thing, Danzig does not have shit on how metal every Filipino person is, because we eat pig's blood. It's called dinuguan. You boil it up and it turns black. It's black blood that you pour over rice. How fucking metal is that shit? That's wild. And it's fucked up too, because I ate that as a kid, and my grandma was like, oh, it's chocolate rice. And I was like, Grandma, chocolate ain't fucking salty. Like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, no. We got, I almost forgot. We got balut. Anybody here ever had balut? It is a duck's fetus in an egg. It's still there. The fetus is still there. That's some fucked up shit, man. But being Filipino is trippy, man, because we about to get that rematch. We about to get that Pacquiao rematch. With Mayweather, shit. I don't follow sports, but I'm excited about that shit because of, just the Filipino thing. Now, the funny thing is, we were very excited the first fight when Pacquiao first fought Mayweather. And that didn't go so well. That was a sad day to be Filipino that next day. Rice cookers were on low in San Jose. There was a lot of Journey karaoke going on right here. Don't stop believing. Wow, man. But we really came up. We came up. We did. Because used to be you didn't have a lot of Filipino celebrities. Now we got Joe Coy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we got half of Bruno Mars. Now we got like, no, you know what's funny about the Bruno Mars shit is when he wears sunglasses and a hat, he looks straight up like one of my grandmas. I'm like, damn, grandma, is that you? She's doing Uptown Fun? Oh no, that's just Bruno Mars. We stole Journey. That's ours now. Fuck you, Steve Perry, Darnell. We had like a quarter of Johnny Depp that we used to claim hella tough, but now we're like, that's a tough one. We can just call him white for now. But I think we got the highest honor of any ethnicity, and that's the fact that Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, considers Filipinos his favorite ethnicity to have sex with. And when I hear that, man, when I hear lines like, I'm sorry for who follow me, chilling with a Filipina at your local Jollibee. I'm like, damn, we really came up. I'm down with the black girls of every single culture. Filipino and Armenian girls on my sofa. Damn, it just brings a tear to my eye. I'm so proud. I grew up in Richmond, and Richmond was a wild place growing up. Had a lot of slang in Richmond that doesn't really translate when you move to other places, and you don't realize that those words don't exist in other places. You go to New York and you'll be like, yeah. Nobody knows what the fuck. They're like, are you okay? Was that a spasm? What's going on? You go, hey man, let me get some ducats for the Swisher. They're like, what were all the words you just said to me? We had, that shit slaps. That shit slaps. You heard that new track? That shit slaps. Slaps what? What's it slapping? Who are we slapping? Do I have to hit somebody when I hear this song? Like, you know, the shit doesn't make sense to other people. So for a while, I just started making up my own shit, see if anybody would notice. You're talking to one of my friends, they're like, hey man, what's good, man? What's good with you? I'm like, oh, not much, man. This motherfucker be starching on me. I'm like, and they just go with it. People just go with it. They're like, yo, he's starching on you? I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker straight starched on my Magamo. It was like, starched on your Magamo? What you gonna do about him starching on your Magamo? I was like, shit, man. I told him to get the fuck up out of here with all that gungus. He's like, can't be having gungus in your life. Can't be doing that. I didn't get into a lot of fights. Well, I did get into a lot of fights, but I wouldn't call them fights as an adult. I got into a lot of shoulder-to-shoulder confrontations. Do you guys know what this is? Kids in the playground, when they got into a fight, they did this thing where you get one kid up on another and you'd be like, what, do something. And then they're like shoulder to shoulder, they're parallel. It's weird, right? So you get up against somebody's shoulder and it would happen all the time. They'd be like, do something, what you gonna do? And this one time, I saw these kids start crying. It was wild. They were like, do something, what you gonna, you ain't gonna do shit. No, you ain't gonna do shit. No, fuck you, that's why your mom left. Hey, fuck you, your mom left too. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to deal with it. Hey man, me too, it's all good, man, fuck you, man, fuck you. And they started hugging and crying. The fucking principal came up. He thought he had to do his job and do some conflict resolution, and he was like, oh no, this shit sorted itself out, all right. Some crazy shit, man. Yeah, growing up out there, you know, you had shit like that. There was this one time, this is kind of random. Oh, that's another thing. Any of you ever been out that way, out to like Richmond, Pinole, El Sobrani? Like, okay, you guys know.
Yeah.
Have you seen a dude try to spit game at a girl? Now, for those that don't know, spitting game is hollering or trying to get some digits. I didn't do a good job of the translation there. That's still, there's still somebody that could be like, I don't know what the fuck any of that means. Now, the way we do it, we don't say, hey, let me get your number. We say, hey, green shoes. Hey, green shoes, what's your number? Hey, green shoes. You just pick a random part of somebody's, outfit. Hey, orange hair. Orange hair, what's good? Like, that's all you gotta do. That's really all you gotta do. Yeah, I'm looking at notes. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. Okay. I heard these dudes at GameStop one time. This is very random. I heard these dudes at GameStop one time. And they were like, hey, man. One said to the other, you hear about this new shit that's coming out? It's that new shit that's coming out. It's, I don't know, man. It's some shit. And then the other one was like, yo, man, I heard about that shit. That shit sounds awesome. I was like, fuck, I want to hear about this shit. Is that good? I don't even have to remember what it's about. So, I grew up in Richmond, came out to Alameda. Came out to Alameda when I was 16 or 17. That's fucked up. That's real fucked up. You know why? Because you grow up in shit-ass Richmond, and then when you're 17, when you're an adult, your mom moves you, that's right, your mom moves you to Alameda, and you're like, what the fuck? This shit existed the whole time? Are you serious? There's a beach, there's ice cream. Shit. There's food that's not McDonald's. No, but it's wild because I got a little brother. And he's 15, and he grew up in Alameda. His life has been in Alameda, so he's experienced some of his own shit, but he hasn't experienced a lot of the shit that I experienced. It's just weird to me because, okay, so he made a black friend finally, which is like, duh. I'm like, okay, cool, all right. And, but it's weird because now I hear him like talking ghetto and shit. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, he'll be on the phone and be like, yeah, bro, let's go hang out at the, fucking Lola's Chicken Shack. Yeah, boy. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is happening? And it's wild. It's such a weird thing to think about. Because I'm like, how are you gonna act hard, man? Like, I get it. That's just how people talk. But the thing is, you got an off-campus lunch. This motherfucker's got an off-campus lunch. He can go to Yojimbo while he's at school and get sushi for lunch. You know what I had to get? When I was a kid, I had to get this shitty version of Pizza Hut at my school. And we were so stoked that Pizza Hut pizzas were, being served at our school. And, we didn't realize till later that they were all made by the special ed kids, and just the drool kind of dripped down into all of our pizzas. Yeah, it's fucked up, man. You know what the most fucked up part about it is I was one of those special ed kids drooling eating pizza. So, I was in every special ed program, man. It's wild. I was in every special ed program, for speech, for physical stuff, for everything. But it was really weird. I was very high functioning. And I was like, whoa, am I like that? No, I'm not like that. No, I don't know. It's some weird shit. There's some weird shit to think about. So my little brother, back to my little brother. I totally veered off there. I didn't practice any of this shit. But my little brother, he's got this thing. I love him to death, and he's turning into a really cool kid. But he's got this shit where he don't chew with his fucking mouth closed. Anybody here have kids? Anybody here have teenagers? There we go, Tony knows. And he do not chew with his motherfucking mouth closed. And it infuriates me so goddamn much. always be like, hey. And I'll be like, I know, shoot with my mouth closed. And there was one time, man, that took the fucking cake. I walked by the bathroom door, and I hear, yeah, bro, yeah, let's do that. Cool, yeah, that sounds cool. This motherfucker was shitting, eating, and talking on the phone at the same fucking time. What the fuck? Like, okay, so I wanted to give him credit for multitasking, because that's some shit that dudes can't do. But so I was infuriated, so I knocked on the door. I was like, Indigo. That's his name. I called his name out. I don't give a shit. I was like, hey. And then he goes, I know, shoe with my mouth closed.
Comedy is pretty trippy because whereas music, you have a lot of things backing you up. You have, people behind you in a band or something. When you do comedy, it's kind of just you up there, and it's just hoping that your thoughts land in a relatable way that makes people laugh and shit. When you get people to laugh, it's kind of like, I don't know, it fills you with this emotion because you're like, oh shit, I'm causing people to smile, I'm causing people to have a good time,
A couple of things that Facebook has done recently, within the past couple of years that I'm very appreciative of. Before, you didn't have any options aside from liking a post or not saying anything at all, right? So, somebody would post something and you could either like it or you could just stay quiet, right? Now we have all kinds of emojis. Now we can love a post. Now we can, put teary eyes. Now we can, send an eggplant if we want to let somebody know we kind of want to fuck them, which is really confusing because it's like, what's the dick emoji for? I don't know what that means anymore. I went over a lot of people's heads. So, now we've switched it up. But back in the day, when it was just a like, it was very confusing because I would see posts like, one of my friends posts something like, oh my God, my grandma just died. I don't know how I'm gonna live on without her. She was my rock. Had 200 likes. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, they like the post because they want to show support, right? Now, the funny thing is, when I read that, all I saw was, oh my God, my grandma just died. I don't know how I'm gonna live without her. She was my rock. And somebody looking at that post and going, huh, nice. Reality, another bad habit is I watch way too much fucking reality TV. Too much. Way too goddamn much. And I found out through reality TV, if you're a piece of shit that just really can't dress themselves, you never clean up your room, you don't really know how to cook, the Fab Five will come to your house and fix your shit. And the whole time, they will convince you that a French tuck is slimming. It's not. It's not. A French tuck is not slimming. Fuck no.
Another thing about comedy is that it kind of the buds.
Cut.
I think everybody should try comedy once. I don't think everybody should be a comedian.
When I was a teenager, I thought that a girl could get pregnant from a blowjob. Does anybody realize how fucking funny that is? If nobody had told me about that, if nobody said, that's what you think happens, no, that's not how it works. If nobody told me that the first time I received a blowjob from a girl and she was gracious enough to swallow, I would have been like, no, I'm not ready to be a father. Wow, my thought process is fucked up, man. I was jerking off one time. That's a good way to start it. I was jerking off one time and I finished and I thought about how, when when you finish, it's like being unplugged from the Matrix, right? You're like, whoa, what the fuck, right? And I thought about that because my friend Judah, who's a rapper friend of mine, he pointed that shit out to me. He's like, hey bro, you ever like think about how fucking like, if you come, it kind of feels like you being plugged out the Matrix, or like what you would imagine that to be like. And in that instant, I thought about that, I thought about Judah, and I thought, and as I was coming, as I was finishing coming, I was like, oh man, I miss Judah.
What I do to keep from the groans and ever getting booed is I usually just talk about my life and my experiences specifically, because when a lot of comedians try to talk about somebody else's experience and what their thoughts are on that, I think that's where it gets in kind of that gray area. But for me, I generally just talk about shit that I've gone through or shit that I can relate to.
All right, there's one place in Alameda where people get shit-faced, rowdy, and fucking crazy. So I work there, and you deal with a lot of ridiculous shit working there. I dealt with this one night, there was a guy who was in the bathroom. He was in the bathroom for like 15, 20 minutes. So I had to knock, and I had to be like, hey, there's people waiting, you know? And he comes out, and he's like, oh, hey man, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm doing some blow in here. Do you want any Coke? And so I had to tell him, because I was security. I was like, hey man, I work here. I'm security. Of course I want cocaine. I was gonna confiscate that shit if you didn't offer it. I came up $300 that night. I had another person who, a lot of the time we would get girls that just piss themselves willy-nilly. It was some crazy shit, man. I don't know how people do it. But I had one girl who was like shit-faced drunk, and I had to tell her, I was like, hey, look, they say you gotta go, I'm sorry. And she's like, why I gotta go? And I'm like, because miss, you're like shit-faced, you're like really drunk. She's like, I'm not really drunk, you're really drunk. And I'm like, look, just because I'm drunk and high on cocaine right now doesn't mean you're able to stay here. And then she let it out. She goes, whatever, Prince looking ass faggot. I was offended. I was offended because, number one, how did she know? Number two, this girl was so drunk and so fucked up that I looked like Prince. In calling me a Prince-looking ass faggot, she gave me the best compliment I've ever received in my life.
When I first started out, it was a lot of impressions, a lot of jokes about, you know, where I grew up and stuff like that, and just celebrity impressions, you know, which I kind of found a way to integrate into the set as opposed to just, oh, here's an impression of this dude. Oh, here's an impression of this dude, you know?
Because I've been doing this Seth Rogen impression for like years. And it's gotten me shit. Like, I did a Seth Rogen impression. I used to do a Seth Rogen impression for free drinks. Bartender would be like, he'd be like, hey, Zach, you want a shot of whiskey? And I'd be like, yeah, you know I do. He's like, nah, you gotta give me what I want. And I would be like, how many dicks do I have to suck to get a shot of whiskey here, man? And so, you know, I got that from it. I got booked a couple of places. It was cool. The Seth Rogen things really worked for me. But I had the dopest opportunity. I was really drunk in New York with one of my friends. And my friend is like, hey, Zach, I got John Oates' motherfucking cell phone number. John Oates from Hall & Oates. He's like, I heard your Seth Rogen impression earlier. You gotta give John Oates a call. I was drunk, so I was like, fuck it, yeah. I don't have any other use for this talent. So we call up John Oates, and I'm like, hey John, I just wanted to let you know, I'm here in New York. I don't know if you live out here, but I was gonna, let's get fucked up, man. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? You know, like, and my friend, he was really good at a Tracy Morgan impression, better than I am, but he gets on the phone too and he snatches it up. He's like, hey yo, this Tracy Morgan, yo, John Oates, you gotta see the bitches out here, they're real man-eaters up on this motherfucker. Like, so somewhere in the world, John Oates is listening to, or has listened to this fake voicemail from a fake Tracy Morgan and a fake Seth Rogen, and things like that just make me happy.
It's one of those things where if you want to do it, you're going to do it, even if you fail at it the first couple of times.
Flyering is a thing that you have to do sometimes to get people at your shows. You gotta go to other events and you gotta pass out flyers. And people don't want flyers. People want your vial of AIDS, if you have one, more than they want your fucking flyer. You're like, hey, I got a vial of AIDS. Oh, cool, thank you very much. If you're like, hey, here's a flyer for my show, get that shit away from me. I had the best deterrent though, the deterrent that I was like, oh shit, okay. I'm not actually offended by this, I'm not mad at this. There's this really old guy, and he walks by, and I'm like, hey, sir, would you like a flyer? And he goes, Hoodily hoo. And I was like, I turned to my friend, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And he was like, he just hoodily hooed us. Let's drag this on. Let's drag this on. You guys want to see some shit that only musicians will get? This is some shit. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. It's not gonna be worth it. Let me just reassure. All right. So I'm gonna do a couple of impressions for you guys, and one is a guitarist that has learned a few scales, and he's trying to jam with his friend's jazz band. All right. And here's where the key change happens. No, I'll get it. You don't have to do it. Here's guitars trying to get feedback, but it's just not happening. It's for like, this is like a metal band joke for sure. So the next thing, can I bring somebody up? Can we have a girl come up here? Any females in the audience, and just hold the guitar. Is there anybody want? This is the last guitar impression. Give it up for Ashley over here. So here's what happens when you're a girl and you're a musician. You get one dude, and he's gonna be over here at the stage, and he's not in any of the bands, and he's gonna come up to her after the show, and it's gonna be something like this. Hey, what kind of guitar you got there? That's cool. Oh, yeah. And then he's gonna start spouting off a bunch of random technical terms that don't actually exist, but he's trying to mansplain the guitar because he assumes that she has no fucking clue how to play it. So what you need is another jib knob for your Akbar. Yeah, that'll really get you a better sound. If you take the nut flag and you put it up to the breakboard, that'll really get you something better than what's going on here. Said every fucking male audience member. Give it up for Ashley Goodall.
Cut.
A lot of the time where I get most of my material, it's not, it's not traditionally funny things. It's kind of things that would make you sad in real life, and then you look back at those experiences and then you kind of find what's funny about them. I think that's kind of a comedian's job sometimes, is to find the hilarity in the most absurd or the most tragic situations and kind of be able to make fun of it and be able to look at life as one big fucking joke. There's a lot of dick and fart jokes, which I don't have as many anymore, I don't think. I think it's progressed a little bit from the dick and fart jokes, but who knows? Probably not. Probably not.
Anybody else here ever fart themselves awake? You ever just like, this is the deepest sleep and then like, see, the thing is, I do it, and so does my dog. And sometimes we both do it at the same time. So I'll wake up to, and then he'll wake up to, and then we both start growling for no reason because we don't know what the fuck just happened. It's just like, and our next door neighbors are like, I thought we moved away from DMX. Thank you guys, I'm Zack Bateman.
Applaud for him some more. Thank you so much. I didn't know you were going to be on stage that long. The other thing was, you said 1%, you said 10% black. The people ever go, nigga, please.